So, I wanted to take a quick moment and talk to you about the latest software update for List Perfectly. On Friday, April 17th, they released a beta version. Note that beta versions are only allowed to be tested by business and pro plan users. Don't worry about it, simple plan users. We've got you. We're going to test it. We're going to make it perfect. So, when it comes out to full launch, you're covered. So, a lot of these updates are actually geared towards business and pro plan users, although there are a lot of great updates for all users in this plan. Um, Let me bring this up really quick. So first, I want to show you. I'm not going to cover them all. Literally, there is a list of upgrades, but I want to touch on the ones that were going to be most prevalent to us users on an everyday basis. Um, so first, let's talk about the what's called the bulk counter. Um, Sorry, I'm talking a little bit slow. I'm trying to bring up the update here. So first and foremost, the bulk counter. When you come to your List Perfectly catalog, before you can bulk select items, and you just select them, but you didn't know how many you selected. A user had put in a request to add this so that they add this bulk counter so that they know how many items they had selected to cross post. So List Perfectly gave a user what they had requested. This is great. I want to show you something else. Next, we're going to move on to Poshmark. So let's say I bulk cross these three items. I know it's three because of that awesome bulk counter. Last week, Poshmark released tags. So I do all of my listings in my List Perfectly catalog. If you've seen any of my um, videos, you'll know that. So there are a handful of platforms that support tags, hashtags, whatnot, keywords. So for this item, we'll just look at this one. I put in these keywords. And then that way, when I cross post to Facebook Marketplace, Etsy, who else supports tags? Mercari, I think Grailed and Depop. I know that there's more. I don't cross post on them all, but know that keywords are there and I want my listings to already be optimized. List Perfectly takes my keywords and they put them into the format that each platform supports. Oh, Facebook Marketplace too, of course. Um, I'm sorry. So Poshmark added tags. They added three of them. List Perfectly adjusted, put this in their beta version. And if you scroll down to the style tags, my first three from my catalog have cross posted. So just like all the other platforms, we've always said put your most prevalent three tags first. So now, business pro plan users, your tags are automatically going to get cross posted into Poshmark. Pro tip: if you do this already, delist, relist. I did this weekend and it was zero effort. I did not have to go into my Poshmark listings and add them all. I simply chose, 30 Poshmark listings, delisted and relisting. Normally I would have tried to optimize, but the only reason I was delist, relist was to get these style tags imported. Another update that List Perfectly made for Poshmark is so brands. In this case, this transferred over. Let me see if it did it on any of the other ones. Okay, so this brand is Carrie Tra. As you see, this pop-up is produced by List Perfectly. That's telling me that the brand that I had entered into my List Perfectly catalog is not picking up as a drop-down brand in Poshmark. Poshmark sellers, we know this is important. A great example is Lululemon. Some platforms has it as Lululemon, some platforms have it as Lululemon Athletica. So if I were to put my brand as Lululemon in my List Perfectly catalog, I will get this pop-up telling me, hey, Poshmark doesn't recognize Lululemon. I can click on it. If it's Lululemon, when I click in this box, it will bring up Lululemon as a pop-up. I can select it and go on. This is great. It is extremely important in Poshmark because it helps. That's how you are identified in parties when they do buy brands. It is also helpful in the search navigation. So if a customer were to come in and put in leggings in their search, and on the left-hand side, they selected Lululemon Athletica, it is optimizing your listing. This is huge and very important. Something else, so Poshmark introduced um, free and reduced shipping at the time of listing. And then they went and they put this banner um, that's kind of grayed out. I don't think a whole lot of, I mean, I don't know. It's a mixed bag on what sellers think of this. No matter what you think, List Perfectly saw that they could improve where they put your cross listing tool. So they moved it so that it's easily clickable and you can easily click on your items without a problem before that banner was getting in the way. Um, so that is it for Poshmark. I want to talk about this recopy. I'm going to show you eBay. Um, Facebook fixed the weight. Apparently, Facebook was kind of messing up some users' weights. So when you come and you list into Facebook Marketplace, now your weights should appear more accurate. Recopy button. We've seen that pop up a couple of times, and I want to show you what that's all about. I'm just going to use eBay as an example. This can be used on any platform. This is where it causes me personally the most heartache. Let's say I cross post in my items, and let's say, so with your category, eBay's AI selects the uh, what they feel is going to be the best category for your item, but it's not always. Let's just say, for instance, this was a casual button down shirt and I needed to change the category. When you change the stuff or the UPC code, it does it too. Sometimes eBay will knock out your information. Sometimes it's this custom label, sometimes it's the custom label and pictures. I honestly have been doing this for almost 2 years and I still do not understand how and why eBay picks what they take out. But one thing that's always consistent is it constantly knocks out my package dimensions and weight. Um, so now, if eBay incorrectly selects a category, or if I want to change it, all I have to do is push recopy. List Perfectly then takes your items from your List Perfectly catalog, it updates it and recopies the information in without changing my category that I just changed. Happens a lot with the UPC too. Another reason this is super cool, let's say I bulk cross posted 80 items, right? But I didn't realize somebody was streaming Netflix, somebody was playing a video game, somebody was on a Zoom call, and my internet was really slow and it couldn't handle 80 listings. And let's say I brought this listing up and my pictures weren't here. Um, that happens. Just select recopy. List Perfectly is going to import without you having to close out, go back, find the item, and come back in. This is gold. Thank you, List Perfectly. I'm going to touch on one again. Like I said, there are a lot of updates. Go to List Perfectly, go to software, click beta. It's going to give you a list of all the updates they were made, or go to List Perfectly group. List Perfectly has an entire list and thread started about the improvements. I'm actually going to drop this video there too. Last thing that I'll talk about on this one is also last week, Mercari started introducing 80 character titles. I clicked the wrong button. So some users on Mercari now have 80 character titles. I still only have 40. Mercari, I know you're listening, right? Upgrade me. I want 80 characters. I don't know if they're testing or if they're doing a slow rollout, but the fact remains that some users have 80 characters and some have 40. So List Perfectly went in, and in this update, they have already optimized. So business and pro plan users, you know that you can customize your titles for each platform. So Mercari titles, I only have 40, even though some have 80. So I'll just optimize my title to fit my 40. It gives me a character count if I am one of the lucky people that have 80 characters, and it would just automatically update into here. but I can optimize that if I want to have my 80 characters. Um, like I said, there's a lot of other really cool updates. I want to make this short and sweet. These are the big ones that the community's been talking about. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments or come to the Liz Perfectly Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, Liz Perfectly group, and we're talking about this over there. If you are a simple plan user and you want to take, sorry about that, my dog doesn't realize when I'm recording. Um, so if you are a simple plan subscriber and you want to take advantage of these tags for all platforms, dude, this is going to save you so much time. Think about upgrading if your business can handle it, if this is going to be of an advantage to you. Find a List Perfectly code. If you don't know anybody with a code, you can use podcast. It's going to give you 30% off of your first upgrade. Seek out another member that's helped you and ask for their code, though. That's what I recommend. They get a little kickback. You get a little bit of somebody else's opinion besides mine on what they think, and go from there. Have a great week.